Alright, today I've decided it's time to put the fender flares back on. I love that stance and all, but no, just couldn't keep the truck clean. I'm always on gravel roads and stuff like that, so I figured it'd probably be best if I had some protection. Before I did this, I shipped that. I'm hoping that's where y'all can see that. But that's broken and I filled it in with silicone. There, hoping it's not too blurry. But I'm just gonna put the fender flares back on and I'll show y'all how to do that. I've got a little tripod set up, and here's another reason why I'm putting these back on. Yes, that is a line all along the edges of where the fender flares were. So they are completely stretched in there, they won't come out. And I thought maybe it was just because I kind of ride my truck hard, not like just like going and wrecking it, but like a lot harder than a lot of people will. And so I figured, oh, maybe it's just because there's all this like mud down in here. It's a little bit dirty, so that made sense to me. And I started looking around, and everyone else that takes their fender flares off has the same stuff, and it goes exactly along the body where that is. This is dirt right here, but this line is a clear, like definite line, and it's like that on every part of the truck. It's harder to see because the lighting's not as good over here, but you can still see the line. It goes down around that. And that's how you know that this one is your driver's side rear. It's got the little indentation for the gas cap. Well, I can think of that. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mix up like some soap and water and clean out the inside of the... I'll probably clean out the inside of the flares themselves. And show y'all just kind of how it's done. Alright, this flare's not bad, and I really don't think, I think it's the other side that's really dirty. So, I believe it was a 9mm or 10mm that worked these. Yeah. Alright, there's a 10mm socket. Only one I had. Make sure it's actually focusing. Well, alright, 10mm. Hopefully, well, you'll just kind of have to believe me, but it's a 10mm, and I'm having to do an adapter for it because my ratchet set only came with bigger sizes, unless it came with a larger thing. Focus back in on the tire. That's why I don't use this camera much. It does have autofocus, but it just doesn't work great. So there's, see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bolts. That should be right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so apparently there are 6 bolts. 1, 5, 6. Nope, there is a 7th. Okay, I was right. There's one here, 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 and here. These two down here don't mess with. That's something different. So there's no need to unscrew those. But well, I got this on factory. But the way this works, it seems to me, is the screws, there are screw holes in this, and I'm guessing that it didn't come with the screws with the set, but I may be wrong because I didn't ever buy it like that. But So you just take the screws out of this and just put them through that. So I can't get to this one because of my tire. I'll have the oil extension on for the four-wheeler. Should work now. Yeah. That one's definitely a little tight. So, none of them are just like super tight. I mean, it's still plastic, so you don't want it to be like able to break your plastic or anything off. This one is a clip, not actually like in the plastic, like it's like a little actual clip on there. But there's a bolt here and here. Don't take those off. Alright, so there's a bolt here and here that are behind the plastic that you don't take off. You only take the ones off that you can like directly see from where you are. Got this one. I don't know if that is broken. It looks like that is broken on my truck. So, I'm not real sure if that kind of hangs low and that's not attached to anything, so there's a good chance that's broken too. Ugh. I'm just going to hang this one. First one. Now this one's going to twist it better. Now what I'm going to do is just lay them down in the order that I pull them out from left to right. So that way I know just to do that. I'm sure they're all the same bolt, but they're the same screw. But I'd rather just not mess with it. You know, just in case there's like one different, which I don't think there is. But so far they all look the same. And it will be the same process for the back as well. So I'll skip that. There is one additional thing you have to do, but it literally takes like 3 seconds to do it. So, alright, so this one I can't get that piece on with it. So I'm just gonna have to do my best with that. I'm actually gonna just get the ratchet back. Yeah, all those bolts look the same, but I just kind of want to be careful about it. So then you just line this up, of course, around the bottom of this, and just kind of goes up and around that. For me, I can just kind of line it up on all the scratches I have everywhere. That's one thing I definitely didn't know going into putting or getting those on, that there are literally scratches everywhere. I'm gonna go opposite sides just so I kind of have. This little seal is coming off a little bit, so I just gotta pop that back in place. So that little bit of protection it does, it can actually still do. But you know, personally, I've always kind of preferred the look with the flares on, but I had to take some of them off for a headlight. And I started thinking, you know, what would it be like without them? And I mean, of course it doesn't look bad, and I love the extra stance I get, but to me it's just kind of like, is it worth all the extra paint chips? Is it worth the never having my truck clean, basically ever? I have a 295 by 70 R18, I'm sure somebody will ask. And it is a 0 offset fuel rim. It's a fuel hostage. I get that question quite a bit. I'm gonna actually be doing a review on these tires and the lift and everything like that pretty soon, because I'm almost at 10,000 miles with them. And alright, for some reason that video just decided to cut out. So what I was saying is, I'm just going to show you kind of the stance I get with this. I'm doing basically the same place. Even with that 0 offset, 295, 70, 18, it is tucked inside at the top. Like, definitely tucked inside. Trying to get it as flush as I can. But it starts sticking out, I'd say about right above this pin. That's where it starts actually sticking out. The tire goes up to about here, and it starts sticking out there. So there's that. But I don't know what all that last video got in. So basically I just put all the screws in and tightened them. And made sure everything was lined up, and made sure that the didn't do a very good job apparently, but tried to make sure that all the lining was outside, and got a fix down here a little bit, but I'll do that in a little bit. It's really not that hard to do. Just get your finger under it and run it under it, and it goes back to where it needs to be. Perfectly lined up on that little scratch. Yep. Good. These are scratches from trees and stuff. Yeah, that's not anything. Move the light over here. I'm gonna move the light. That's not quite far enough. This is one of the problems with having an already messed up painter's light as your only light. Then this, you just basically do the same thing. You'll line it up against all the holes, tuck it up under there, make sure your liner's along the edge. And there is this little pin right here. Make sure that's focusing on that. Yeah, there's a pin right here. I don't know if it comes on the trucks or if it is on the thing, but it is only on the back one. So that little pin, I'm hoping y'all can see it. Yeah, that's probably good. That little pin, you literally, I'm gonna have to set up the tripod to even show you, just because it is something I need both hands for. You literally just get 2 flathead screwdrivers. I'm just trying the first one I see. Alright, but you literally just get 2 flathead screwdrivers. And you can see there's an indention here and here, and you literally just push down and it pops a little tab up. It's one of the easiest things. It looks just like this. Hoping it's actually focusing on this. But it looks like that. And literally how it works is when you push it down in there, which you'll do afterward, it locks it into place. You have to, this one I've done so much, it's kind of not great anymore. But it works best if you get new ones. But I'm just not going to mess with it. You can do it with 1 screwdriver, it just makes it a little difficult. But literally it's just like, you pull it out. You have to squeeze it together to make sure that's in the shop. You have to squeeze it together and push it down in there. And then once it's in, push this down and it spreads back out and it will stay in there. So until you do that. So that's basically how you do it. There's on the back ones, I'll show you where all the different screws are. Right there, it's probably good. Alright, so there is this tab that goes under right here. Yeah, there's a little hole in the middle. I'm sure that's probably there from factory. But hole right like in line with this. But down up under the truck itself. You got a bolt here, 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 and here. So there's a little bit more here. So I see 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then the one under. So in all, 9 tubes, 9 screws or tabs in, and so I'm just gonna have to work on putting those in, and I'll kind of show you a video of how it looks once it's done. Alright, so we got them all on. I had a buddy come help me with them just to speed it up, so I went ahead and put on all, we went ahead and put on all 4. So they're all good. All the stuff's covered up pretty well. That's pretty good. Well, this camera won't focus. But so I said I would get like the lines of like how much is actually showing, and honestly, this one, the whole tire is showing a little bit in the back, and it's like that on both sides. So the whole tire sticks out at least from like the edge of the lug over. There's not like a whole lot of like area that it shows, but it does show at least a little bit. And this just like sort of. I guess my front tires are a little angled out, that's why they're a little bit off, but yeah, that's definitely angled out. I see that now. So, but they do barely stick out. About the same as the back, maybe a little bit more tucked in. So yeah, it's pretty easy install. I worked on it for about 25 minutes alone, and then he came and we were done in about 15. So it's about a 40-minute job for one person. Because the first one I was kind of like making sure I was doing it right and stuff, and I mean, it's not hard to do, so I'd say it's a 40 to 50-minute job by yourself. Did have one problem with that push pin, but it just wouldn't. We couldn't get it to come down and or to come out of the thing, so it just kind of took a little bit of convincing to get that out. But overall, it's not a hard project, and I think it's worth it. It looks good. It pretty functional. If you ever use your truck, I've still got mud on the side from, heck, I don't even know. That's just driving to baseball practice and stuff, and I covered the side of my truck in mud just doing nothing. So I decided to put them back on. So be sure to tune in for the review on the tires and the review on the lift kit. I'll be doing those pretty soon, so be looking out for them. Arkansas Mud King signing out. I've been